be there, line manager and functional heads will be there. Okay, so what is the next course of action decided upon that particular issue? Okay, or else do the employees have the consent and participation in that issues, or else is there a detailed plan drawn and documented? Okay, all these will be asked in this one. Okay, and also we will study how the interviews documents secondary data, questionnaire data. Okay, again all those will be studied. And coming to another one, using action research where necessary. Okay, so under using action research, what are the components that are studied? Means, so after identification of the problem, okay, after drawing the planning for that problem, okay, we have to take next what means we have to take the action. Okay, so that action may be, what are the components means using for improving various HR systems or not. Okay, and another one is using action research to review. So review means in order to review the OD interventions initiated in the organizations or not. Okay, these two will be studied under action research. Okay, so again under this we are going to study about how to audit. Okay, so how to audit these action research means, after planning, after identification of problem, after planning, okay, we are going for action research. And under this action research, do all the HR department have taken any actions, or else any improving aspects regarding the HR systems were taken or not, will be seen. Okay, and a review will be taken by the HR external consultant. Okay, and auditing will be done on these aspects. Okay, so auditing, again we know HR manager, line manager, functional heads will be done. So under this, is there a research orientation in the organization? First of all, is there any research orientation is there in the organization, especially for HRD members, is there or not? This question will be given by the external consultant to the HR manager. Okay, and at the same time, is action research conducted to improve HRD system? So action research is conducted particularly for HR improvement or not, for HRD system or not. Okay, and if at all if you are conducting any action research regarding HR systems, means for that can you give any illustrations? Okay, those questions will be given by the external consultant to the HR manager. Coming to line managers, he will ask questions like, have you ever participated? Okay, maybe like a respondent in any research work undertaken by the HRD department, or else how has the experience been? Is it positive or negative? Experience is nothing but do the organizations give participative nature, okay, for the employees? Okay, do you think HRD is doing a good job with the research work, or else how can it be improved? Do the organization need to improve that research work? Okay, so this type of questions will be given by the external consultant to the line managers or the functional heads. Okay, and coming to again documents, questionnaire data means reports will be taken regarding the action research. Any reports are there, means it will be collected by the external data. And finally HRD questionnaire data also collected. Okay, and another one is ensuring the success of OD interventions. So after above all the three completed, we have to ensure the success of the OD, because as we went for OD interventions, to what extent we have succeeded, to what extent the organization have matured that particular aspect will be seen. Okay, so under this, what were the components studied under this ensuring success of OD interventions? Okay, so first one is um, it starts with the needs most felt by the organizations. Okay, most felt by the organizations to ensure willingness to change. Okay, is that aspect done in the organization or not, will be seen in this OD intervention. Okay, so another one is choosing the receptive entry points. Okay, receptive entry points means at least one department in the organization is willing to experiment and has resources required to stabilize the change planned, okay, for that, okay, as we are going for OD interventions, for that do we have any resources or not, do we have a particular department willingness, okay. So this will be studied under this ensuring success, okay. And because while we are going for OD interventions, definitely we have to study all these aspects, willingness of the employees, departments, okay, and what were the starting points, receptive entry points, what are those, and we have to see those resources are there or not, okay. At the same time working with the forces supportive, because organizational change means definitely we will see aversion in the employees in the organization, so definitely we need supportive forces in the organization. So what are those forces, okay, focus on the roles and departments, enthusiastic or willing to change, okay. So those aspects will be seen there. And coming to another one, proliferate effort towards changes means using autonomous units as a model or not, okay, or else using multiple entry points to address interrelated issues, or else achieve a minimum critical concentration in any department to achieve success, okay. Likewise, proliferate effort towards changes means bringing out a positive intention in the organization by having relations with different departments, or else particular any multiple entry points, okay. Likewise, or else concentrating on any particular department, okay, which is very positive towards change. So we have to find out the proliferate effort toward changes, okay. So another one is developing internal resources means, developing internal resources means choosing and defining the role of the internal OD facilitator. So definitely in every organization we will have a facilitator, so he will facilitate the things between the management and the employees. So first of all, do we have any internal resources like facilitator, what is his role, what is his duty, do the facilitator has a team, okay, or else establishing any linkage of internal facilitator with external consultant, do that facilitator, okay, maintains any linkage with external consultant, okay, review the work of the internal facilitator, because the facilitator is the person who will look after all these changing aspects. So he should have a good linkage with the external consultant, he should give the feedback, he should review the work of the external consultant also has to review the work of the internal facilitator, how he is working, and continuous the professional development of the internal facilitator is there or not, all this will be seen by the external consultant. And finally, getting top management commitment, okay. So do we have any uh, uh, commitment regarding the top management commitment regarding this OD interventions is there or not, will be studied under this ensuring the success of OD interventions, okay. Again, how to audit, so how to audit means again we are going for HR manager and line managers functional heads, so through interviews, documents and questionnaire data, okay. So likewise, what would be the questions here means under ensuring the success of OD intervention means HR manager, if we see the question will be like this: how you ensure success of OD intervention, okay. Or else means how you ensure success of OD interventions means what methods you are following, what are the principles that you are going to follow, okay. All these aspects will be asked by the external consultant. And coming to another question is, what efforts do you invest into develop internal resources, because internal resources are very important for the application of the change in the organization. So what efforts are you making, okay, or else how do you ensure maximum support from other departments, why, because change means definitely aversion will be seen in the organization. So in order to get maximum support from the employees, how could you ensure, okay, the support from the different departments in the organization, different employees in the organization, and also the top management, okay. Likewise, questions will be given to the line managers and functional heads also. Likewise, do you think OD interventions have been successful? Have been successful in the sense, in past, if any OD interventions were made means, do they are they successful? Okay, or else what makes you say this? that definitely this OD intervention is going to be success. Okay, what makes you think likewise? Okay, or else what factors do you think have contributed to the success of these interventions? So this type of questions will be given by the external consultant. Okay, and finally we will go for documents, secondary data, any material regarding these aspects, those aspects. Okay, and finally questionnaire data will be given. Okay, coming to another slide, perceived visible benefits as a consequence of OD interventions. Okay, so this is another aspect under OD interventions. These are all the components. Okay, so another component is perceived visible dimensions. Sorry, so these another dimension is perceived visible benefits as a consequence of OD interventions. So under this, what are the components that we are going to study? Okay, so here under this perceived visual benefits, 10 points were given. Okay, so for that 10 points, what are those components? Means these three components. Okay, for these points have been given. First one is helps the organization problem solving capability. Okay, so what are the visible benefits that we can see by OD intervention? Means we can see problem solving capability. Okay, through confrontation and collaboration. Okay, so through confrontation and collaboration by the employees, both management and employees in the organization. Okay, and another one is promotes linkage. Means linkage between individual goals and organizational goals should be there definitely. Okay, we all know that individuals have separate goals and organizations as a whole has a separate goals, but there should be integration between individual goals and organizational goals in order to get organization success. At the same time, parallelly, individuals of that organization also should have a growth or benefit through those goals. Okay, so we have to see, is there any linkage between individual goals and organizational goals? Okay, likewise improved culture for learning. Okay, do they have any learning culture in the organization? Do they apply organization apply any continuous improvement in the organization? Do the organization has risk taking capacity? Do the organization has collaboration? Do the organization have any ambiguity tolerance or not? Do the organization has the culture of openness? Okay, likewise, is there regarding the cultural aspects of organization, some aspects will be studied. Okay, so these are the perceived visible benefits. Okay, and all these can be studied again. How to audit? Okay, how to audit by external consultant on HR manager, line manager, functional head. Okay, like the questions will be asked to the HR manager. What are the perceived visible benefits of OD intervention? The question is that only. Here the dimension is that only. So the HR manager will be asked the question of what are the perceived visible benefits that are going to be seen in OD interventions. So what effect have the intervention had on the culture of organization? Okay, so if at all we have involved that particular intervene variable in the organization, does it impact on the culture of organization? So what if at all there is any impact, means what is that effect? Okay, do it has a capacity of problem solving? Okay, or else what effects have interventions had on the linkages between individual and organizational goals? Okay, so all this can be asked by the external consultant. And coming to line managers or functional heads, he will again ask like questions like, do you think the OD interventions are useful to the organization or not? Okay, and what way do they help the organization? What are your subordinates perceptions about the same? Okay, likewise different questions will be asked by the external consultant regarding the line managers or functional heads. Okay, and coming to the documents or the secondary data, so for these all these perceived visible benefits, if we are going to implement this OD intervention, means so for that OD intervention, do the organization have made any survey conducted to understand the perceptions of the people have on the benefit of OD interventions to the organizations? So that particular survey reports will be asked by the external consultant. And coming to questionnaire data, means This is the final questionnaire data for making the survey. Okay. And coming to another one, the last one is the competencies of people involved. So what are the competencies of people involved? Again, it has given 15 points. Okay. Totally for this OD interventions, we'll study 70 points. Okay. And the last one is 15 points that is given for the competencies of people involved. Okay. So under this, what are the components? Okay. So first one is involvement of an external specialist. Okay. So involvement of an external specialist means uh, imitated by an expert who has the knowledge of applied behavioral science and also the skill of this applying knowledge in the organizational situation. He is known as the external specialist. Okay. So external specialist means the person who has a knowledge. At the same time, he has the knowledge regarding the behavioral science. Why? Because behavioral science means we are going to study about the human resource department. Definitely the specialist has to know about the behavioral science and also the skills applying this knowledge in the organizational different situations. Okay. And also initial stage. Okay. Initial stage external consultant involved to get an objective view of the organization, and also he will confront the issues which an internal person may not be able to do. So that is the speciality of the external specialist. Means definitely he will find out what is the problem, what were the issues involved in the organization, that even though the internal person of the organization is may not be able to find out. Okay. Likewise, and in this involvement of an external specialist, again questionnaire questions will be given. Okay. Like to HR manager and line managers will be given the questions. Do you involve external consultants for OD interventions? How do you assess the competencies of such consultants? Okay. How involved are the external consultants in all phases of the process? So regarding the external specialist, questions will be asked by the external consultant to the HR manager, to the line manager or the functional heads. Okay. So they will ask, do you really involve with the external consultants, or else how do you assess the competencies of the consultants, or else do you how is your involvement with that particular external consultant in all phases. Okay. Likewise, he will ask with line managers also, do you observe any external consultants participating in the OD processes? Okay. Or else what is your impression about them? Okay. So likewise certain questions will be asked. Okay. And finally, any report on external consultants involvement in the OD process. Is there any OD external consultants involvement in the OD process is there or not? He will ask the organizations, and if at all there is any data or report regarding that aspect, he will collect that aspect. And finally, questionnaire data will be also taken by the external consultant. Okay. So this is about the competencies of people involved. And now coming to strong internal resources to carry forward the work initiated by the external experts. Okay. Strong internal resources to carry forward the work initiated by the external experts. For this 5 points will be given. Okay. So under this aspect, what are we are going to study means, strong internal forces means the knowledge of basic concepts of applied behavior sciences. Do that knowledge is expected in the organization or not? Okay. So knowledge is very important. Knowledge should be there for the employees regarding behavioral aspects also. Okay. So do that exist in the employees or not will be studied. Okay. And at the same time, another strong internal resources is, do training methods are used in the OD interventions? While we are going for OD interventions, any training methods are given for that application, and high level of diagnostic and problem solving capacity is there. Okay. Is there or not? Okay. He will see diagnostic, because while we are going for OD intervention means definitely we have to first of all diagnose the problem, identify the problem. Okay. So and at the same time we have to know the problem solving capacity also. Okay, so do the organization consist all these things or not will be seen by the external consultant. And behavioral qualities such as creativity, perseverance, interpersonal sensitivity, and communication skills, empathy, all these are there or not, all these comes under the internal resources only. So he will see all these aspects, basically the knowledge aspects, training facilities, okay, diagnosing of the problem, okay, capacity, or else the behavioral qualities like creativity, okay, interpersonal sensitivity, communication skills, empathy, do they have all these things or not will be seen by the external consultant. And all these will be again asked questions to the HR manager and the line manager, okay, like asking what are the internal resources do you have for OD, okay, what are the strengths of your employees useful for OD interventions. Strengths means do the employees do have a behavioral uh, traits or not, problem solving capacities or not, okay, all these can be asked by the consultant, okay. And he will ask to line managers also, like do HRD employees have the necessary skills and training in handling the OD, or else are they competent enough, how can they improve, why, because if at all we are going for OD intervention means the employees of the organization should be capable, they should be competent, okay, they need some skills, okay. So do the organization is providing those to the employees or not, and at the same time do the employees are competent or not, these questions will be raised by the consultant. And coming to the document secondary data questionnaire data, again he will depend upon the internal reports of the organization and the HRD audit questionnaire, okay. And coming to the third one, supportive role of the top management. So what is the supportive role of the top management means, for this also 5 points will be given, so totally 15 points, 5 5 5, okay. So supportive role of the top management means efforts initiated from the top management is there or not will be seen in the supportive role of top management, because without the support of the top management, without the efforts initiated by the top management, we cannot go for the OD interventions, okay. So for that purpose, they will see is there any initiation for the top management, or else commits the necessary support and resources required, because the resources should be provided by the top management only. And at the same time, do the top level management takes it seriously, the data seriously, and supports the changes required, okay. At the same time, facilitates change efforts by setting examples, and also it serves as links between various functions and departments to facilitate the change through collaboration. So in order to do all these things, definitely supportive role from the top management should be there, okay. So do all these things are there or not will be assessed by the external consultant by how to audit, okay. How to audit, again we'll see HR manager and the line managers or functional heads, okay. So what questions will be headed, okay. So what support does the top management offer, because all these supportive role of top management is dependent on the top management only. So questions will be related to the top management only, like what support does top management offer, how do you maximize top management support, what more do you expect, and how can you obtain it, okay. Likewise he will ask to line managers also, like does top management support in the OD process or not, do you think the top management is involved in the process or not, okay. Likewise all these questions will be asked by the external consultant, okay. And finally we will see again interviews, documents, secondary data, and questionnaire data, okay. And finally, on this OD interventions, analysis of secondary data will be done, checklist will be done by the external consultant, okay. So documents, under analysis of secondary data, what analysis will be done means analysis of secondary data on documents, on surveys, on circulars and communications. These aspects will be analyzed, okay. So this is the secondary data. And if we see about documents available from OD exercises done in the past, okay, So what are the documents that are available? So for example, if we talk about documents available on OD exercises, means like climate surveys, employee satisfaction surveys. Likewise, they may have done. Okay, for example, so variety of what are the variety of interventions that their organization has intervened, what methodology applied for data collection, what is the depth of the study, what are the major findings of the study, what are the action plans and implementation strategies, how they are documented, who has access to the same. Okay, and people who are involved and their roles and responsibilities in that OD intervention. For that particulars, for that all the documents will be available for that OD exercise. Okay, so as I said before, for example, the OD exercise I've done on um, uh, employee satisfaction, for example. So for that employee satisfaction, so all these things, do the what is the intervene, what is the methodology, what is the depth of the study, findings, suggestions, action plans, documentation, all these will be studied under this. Okay, coming to findings of the survey and action plans, how have the findings been used? Okay, if at all OD interventions have findings, so how those findings are used? Okay, what are the action plans drafted with details about activities and the people involved, what is the time span, review mechanism? Okay, all these can be studied under the findings survey. Okay, and what are the outcomes documented? Yeah, okay, so how are they communicated to other employees? So definitely findings should be communicated to each and every employee of the organization. Okay, so how they are communicated. Okay, and finally communication and circulars related to past OD services, means how those communications, how those circulars are communicated to the employees. Okay, so all this will be studied under the analysis of the secondary data. Coming to checklist, so under checklist, what are we are going to study means, under checklist, interview questions for HR manager, as usually we will see interview questions for line managers also we'll see. So if we see about interview questions regarding HR manager, means what are the various OD exercises undertaken in the past, what was the sequence of activities, or else what have been the results, what are the changes as consequences of the of these interventions. Likewise, to what extent are you or other internal facilitators trained in this area, or else who are the external consultants involved in these efforts, or what has been your role in various exercises, what is the attitude and support of the top level management regarding these interventions, or else to what extent are other line managers involved. Okay, what is the data shared, is the data shared widely, what is the scope and priority for OD exercises, have you identified any other focus areas for the future OD interventions. Likewise, and also how successful do you feel the various OD interventions have been, what are the factors that attributed to the success and failure of OD interventions. All such questions will be asked to this HR manager. So likewise, line managers are also asked about their what do they think about that OD interventions, how success is that OD interventions, what observations do you find out, do employees support those OD interventions, what is the uh, participation of the top level management, do they participate in the planning and decision making? Okay, or else do the employees have participation in those aspects? Okay, all these questions will be asked by the external consultant. Okay, so this is about the OD intervention under HRD scorecard. Okay, so